So today we're diving into a story that just swept the internet. It's a story about fame, about desire, and a lie so incredibly well crafted it fooled millions. It's a really chilling look at a dark truth in our digital world, and honestly, it forces us to ask what's even real anymore online.
Let's just start with this question, right? Think about someone you've seen blow up online. Millions of followers, that little verified check mark, a backstory that pulls you in. Now, what if you found out that person was a ghost? A total digital phantom, cooked up from code and, well, pure malice.
Okay, so it all kicked off with this exact search term. Back in July of 2025, this phrase just exploded. It was everywhere. Google, X, Instagram, creating this massive digital storm. Everyone was desperately searching. They were hungry for the gossip, the scandal, the video. But the thing they were looking for, it was built on a complete fantasy. To really get a grip on how huge this deception was, first, we have to look at the illusion itself. You know, who was this woman that the internet thought it knew? Let's meet the persona that absolutely everybody fell for.
This was her, baby doll Archi. The internet knew her as Archita Fukan, a super confident, glamorous, and kind of mysterious rising star from Assam in India. She had the look, she had the attitude, and she had this dramatic backstory that her followers just found completely irresistible.
And this persona wasn't just thrown together. No, this was meticulously constructed piece by piece. It kicked off with a viral video. You know, her dancing in a red sari. Then, boom, a shocking photo apparently alongside a famous American adult star. Then came the whispers, the teasing of an adult film debut. And all of this was wrapped in this tragic but empowering story of survival. And to top it all off, it was legitimized with that coveted blue tick on Instagram. You know, the ultimate stamp of, this is real.
And it worked. I mean, it really worked. Baby doll Archi pulled in a staggering 1.4 million followers. She wasn't just some small-time influencer. She became a household name in India's meme culture. Her face was absolutely everywhere. And the whole time, everyone was chasing a ghost. But yeah, that whole illusion, it was built on a pretty chilling secret. Because behind the 1.4 million followers, the verified checkmark, and all those viral videos was a deep, dark deception. The woman that everyone knew as baby doll Archi, she was never real. Not for a second. She was a complete fabrication. A deepfake. An AI-generated persona designed to lie on a scale we've rarely seen before. And here's where it gets truly horrifying. Just look at the gap between the fantasy and the reality. On one side, you've got the illusion, baby doll Archi, this verified, monetized public figure. And on the other side, the truth, Sanchi. And that's a pseudonym for the real victim. She's a homemaker from Dibrugarh, a private citizen with no social media presence whose face was literally stolen and twisted into this digital puppet.
So the big question is, who would do something like this? Well, the police investigation led them to Pratim Bora, a mechanical engineer and an AI enthusiast. And his motive? It was as old as time, revenge. He was the victim's ex-boyfriend, and he decided to weaponize her identity in the most modern, terrifying way you can imagine.
Right, so this wasn't some simple Photoshop job, not even close. This was a sophisticated, planned-out digital assault. So let's actually break down how this widely available AI technology was turned into a weapon for personal destruction and, yeah, for profit. The process, when you look at it, is just shockingly straightforward. Step 1, he stole private photos of Sanchi. Then he used AI tools that, frankly, anyone can get their hands on to morph her images and create this totally new, fake person. He then started monetizing this fake identity by selling explicit synthetic content, and then he brilliantly manipulated social media to make the whole thing go viral. So the core technology here is the deepfake. And if you're not familiar, it's basically AI that can generate synthetic media, photos, videos, where one person's face is swapped onto another's. And it does it with terrifying accuracy. In this case, tools like Midjourney and Dazine were used to take a real woman's face and put it into all these fake scenarios, many of which were pornographic. And while this whole twisted thing might have started as revenge, it very quickly turned into a business. Bora actually managed to pull in over 10 lakh rupees, that's about 12,000 US dollars, by selling this fake explicit material. A personal vendetta had morphed into a profitable criminal enterprise. But, let's step away from the tech and the money for a second because there is a devastating human cost here. This was not a victimless crime. It was an act that completely erased a real person and, in the process, exposed some really ugly truths about our online culture. And this fire didn't just stay within India's borders. Look at this. The search interest exploded internationally. It spread like wildfire to Bangladesh, the Philippines, and beyond. It's just proof of how fast a digital lie can cross the globe. A lie cooked up in Assam became an international obsession in just a matter of days. This quote really just says it all. To the millions of people who saw her posts, baby doll Archi wasn't a person. She was just content, something to be consumed, to be judged, to be fetishized. And in that whole process, the real victim, Sanchi, was just erased. Her entire identity was stolen, twisted, and sold, all while she had absolutely no idea it was even happening. The cultural context here really amplified the damage. In a society where sexuality can be a very taboo subject, this fake persona became a lightning rod. It kicked off both this intense fetishization on one hand and just savage public shaming on the other, with almost nobody stopping to ask the most important question. Is this woman even real? So eventually the hoax was exposed and the person behind it was arrested. But the story doesn't end there. The challenge now is fighting back against these kinds of digital ghosts and figuring out what we need to learn from this to protect ourselves in the future. Pratim Bora is now facing a whole laundry list of serious charges. We're talking sexual harassment, cybercrime, identity fraud, defamation. The list goes on. If he's convicted on all counts, he could be looking at up to 10 years in prison. So the justice system is definitely taking this seriously. But here's the real kicker, the bigger challenge. The legal system just isn't keeping up with the tech. India's main cyber law was written way back in the year 2000, long before anyone could even imagine this kind of AI-driven abuse. There are literally no specific laws that make creating and spreading malicious deepfakes a crime. It's a massive legal gray area. So what do we take away from all this? Well, the lessons are pretty stark. First, we desperately need to update our laws for the AI age. Second, we have to hold social media platforms accountable for how they verify who's real and who's not. Third, digital literacy. It's not optional anymore. It's a basic survival skill. And maybe the biggest one, the old idea of seeing is believing, is officially dead. And I want to end on this really powerful direct quote from Sizzle Agarwal, the investigating officer on the case. It's more than just a warning, it's really a call to action. The fight against this kind of digital deception, it starts with us. It starts with a healthy dose of skepticism and just using our critical thinking to question what we see. Because in the age of AI, our biggest defense is our own brain.